So next one is also about the proximity control. This proximity control, as I said, is the number one most effective classroom and student management, because the teacher walks around and then they can notice, recognize the children really struggling at the time with the work, or children is exceptionally do well, and they can recognize good workers, weak workers, and the exceptional workers, and individual children. They just have a monitor everybody, and then these teachers can provide a prompt huddle help, right? So child just work on number one and was okay, number two, okay, number three, and then number four, they could not do it. And then they just sit down and look around, and then just other children that do well. So they try to do it and they skip number four, and then try to number five, and still number five, they cannot do it. And then number six, they cannot do it. And then just constantly they have those questions, and then pretty much they drop their pencils. So if a teacher walks around the classroom and monitor everybody's, and then teacher sees that right away, or more proactive, wise teachers know who's very advanced level and who's behind. So as soon as they finish the explanations, and then everybody get to work, and then they walk to the, little mat, and just watch. Oh, Matt, how are you doing? And then Matt says, it's okay. And then, okay, let me just watch it. And then Matt does, and then you watch, and then that's an error analysis you could do. It's opportunity, right, to do error analysis. So you can find where the child make errors. And then you explain right there, and just, the Matt could finish that question, and then you just make a circle right away, and then you move on. So that's how, when I taught to do, I had a, constructor's pouch in my waist, and then I had one pouch has all color pens, and then next one has erasers, because I had, students with a very weak fine motor skills. So a lot of times they try to erase and they rip the paper. So I had, erasers, and then I had, one little goodies like M&M types of, small pieces in my, pocket. And then I gave out the worksheets, and then right away I just start watching those weak ones, and watching they're doing, and then I just make with a pen with a, if they make a mistake, and then I just check mark, and just once they just fix that question, and then they just make a triangle. So I could see the child original one is a circle or a triangle. So that's or in the beginning from the weak ones first, and then all weak ones are settled, and then I start from the number one, the front or just the back side, and then just whoever I start first, and then I go and then check, and then circle, 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 and then I move on to the next child, and then I just pat or just say good job, and then just continue, and then next child, and then next child. So easily you could provide a hurdle help with that, and then you can recognize their some of, who knows, little John was always just like have some off task, and it's not loud but passive, but fidgets and just play with the little items. However, teachers always stay with them, physically close to them, and then they can pay attention more. That little John just exceptionally quiet, and then moved, just did a lot of work, and then I just recognized it, and I just, oh my gosh, you did so well, and then I just give approval, and then give a little edible items, and just great, just go ahead, and just a little, and then this walking and can provide, as I said previously, emotional comfort. And then children, we talked about this one, children they require 3 A's. That's why they need the teacher's attention. So again, number one is attention, and then number two is affection, and then number three is approval. So those three is, and attention is providing everything, right? When parents are attentive, they could notice the children's needs right away and they could provide. And teachers are attentive to children and then they know their needs, so they can provide the prompt, heard help, and then prompt approval, recognition and approval, and then they can provide social emotional comfort. So that's affection, because the child always crave to be loved. That's affection. So this is a proximity control. And again, when you study the teaching, you just tell yourself every morning, I do not see it. You just want first school year, your first teaching, first year, you practice that. And then until your last year of your teaching, you will be walking teacher. It is good for your health again. You don't need to save time to go outside and then walk for your exercise. So you can finish your exercise inside the school building and then go out, and then you can play some sports and other things for fun. Not just like, you have to just separately just save time for 1 hour walk or just jogging for your health. Okay, so or just win-win games you could do through this proximity control. Teacher always stay up and walk around. Those teachers would not have a disruptive off-task behaviors. That is the most, not really hard, challenging behaviors, but it's a lot of disruptive off-task behaviors. Teachers got annoyed and then frustrated, and then those frustration and annoying, and then teachers' response to children are not nice and pleasant, and then teachers' reactions toward the teachers' unpleasant response is just very defiant way and very aggressive way. That's compensating behaviors, especially children with weak academic skills, below the grade level academic skills, frustration level academic skills. They got used to this, adult response, especially school adults and teachers' response, and then it's very distrust in teachers. So no matter what, children have a weak academic skills, still you show your concerns, and then you just like, you and I are partners, we're gonna go together. So you try, I will help, I will help, you try. So that kind of a bond you have, and then your students do not have to act up to save their face and pride, because they know their weaknesses. They appreciate their teacher knows their weaknesses, and then teacher is eager to help their weaknesses, and teacher save times and to do it. I have many teacher candidates, my previous service teachers told me they were struggling. They struggled in this grade up to third grade up to fourth grade, and then they met one teacher, and she saved their time, and then just especially after school, early in the morning, they just gave private one-on-one help. So those students they could get out of those learning difficulties. So it is important because, as an adult, some of you told me about your teachers. That means you still remember that teacher. And then that teacher will alive in your memory until your last second. It is important, right? So you want to be that kind of a teacher, and then you try, and you just find help, and you cannot find help, and then during the summer your journey is in your head, and you try to just figure out why his IQ is 120, his IQ is 100, he has a smart IQ, and then why he could not follow this and that. And that is your study. And then you just think this, and then as soon as the new school year starts, and then you could try that, or just after winter break, and then you can try those new findings, new method you tried, you found. So that is again, it's as an educational partner with your student, you are in the same boat. So you sail together. As soon as the students feel that, and then they're not gonna just frustrate in front of you. They're gonna ask help for that, and then you are pleasantly go and help them, and then you save time. It's just a great things. Okay.